Microsoft Windows Operating System. Microsoft Windows is a group of several proprietary graphical operating system families developed and marketed by Microsoft. Each family caters to a certain sector of the computing industry. For instance, Windows NT for consumer and corporate desktops, Windows Server for servers, and Windows IoT for embedded systems. Developer, Microsoft Corporation. License, proprietary software, commercial license. OS family, Windows IoT, Windows NT. Default user interface, Windows Shell. Latest release, 10.0.2262.1.2215. Initial release date, November 20, 1985. Programming languages, C++, C. Windows 1 was the first version of the Windows operating system. It was released in November 1985 and was the first attempt by Microsoft to create a graphical user interface. Windows 1 relied heavily on a mouse, which was not a common computer input device. Microsoft included a game called Reversi that required a mouse to help users get used to this new way of interacting with a computer. Here are some of the key features of Windows 1. Graphical User Interface, GUI, with drop-down menus, tiled windows, and mouse support. Device-independent screen and printer graphics. Cooperative multitasking of Windows applications. Windows 2.0. Windows 2 was released by Microsoft in December 1987, 2 years after Windows 1. The biggest improvement in Windows 2 was that windows could overlap each other, making it easier to work with multiple programs simultaneously. Windows 2 also introduced the ability to minimize or maximize windows, which is still used today. Another big change in Windows 2 was the introduction of the control panel, which made it easier to find system settings and options. Microsoft Word and Excel were also first released for Windows 2. Here are some of the key features of Windows 2. Overlapping windows. Minimizing and maximizing windows. Control panel for system settings. Microsoft Word and Excel. Windows 3, released in 1990, was the first version of Windows that became popular. It came pre-installed on many PC-compatible computers and allowed users to run multiple programs simultaneously or multitask. It also had a more modern, colorful look, supporting 256 colors. Among its most prominent features was the card game Solitaire, a big hit with users. Windows 3 was a big success, selling more than 10 million copies and becoming the best-selling graphical user interface ever. Windows 3.1, TrueType and Minesweeper. Windows 3.1 was released in 1992 and was an upgrade to Windows 3.0. It was the first Windows version to have TrueType fonts, making it a good publishing platform. Minesweeper was also introduced in this version. Windows 3.1 required 1 MB of RAM and allowed MS-DOS programs to be controlled with a mouse. It was also the first Windows version to be distributed on a CD-ROM. The new version sold 3 million copies in just 2 months. The major changes from Windows 3.0 were better multimedia and networking support, TrueType font support, and better error diagnostics. Windows 95 was released in 1995, and it introduced several new features. The most noticeable change was the Start button and Start menu. Windows 95, the operating system, also introduced the concept of plug and play, which was supposed to find and install drivers for new peripherals automatically but sometimes didn't work. Windows 95 also focused on multitasking and had a 32-bit environment. It was designed to work with Windows NT and had greater backward compatibility with older drivers and software. Windows 98, USB and multimedia. Windows 98 was released in June 1998 as an upgrade to Windows 95. It introduced several new features and improvements, such as better support for USB devices and larger hard drives and enhancements to the user interface. Here are some of the new features and improvements. Improved USB support. which made it easier to connect and use USB devices like mice and printers. Windows 98. The ability to use larger hard drives and files, thanks to the new file system called FAT32. Support for multiple monitors so that you can connect more than one screen to your computer. New programs, such as Internet Explorer 4, Outlook Express, and Windows Media Player. Improved performance and faster startup times for programs. Support for DVD-ROM and Internet Connection Sharing, ICS, in the second edition, Windows 98 SE. Windows XP is a major release of Microsoft's Windows NT operating system. It was released to manufacturing on August 24, 2001, and later to retail on October 25, 2001. It is a direct upgrade to its predecessors, Windows 2000 for high-end and business users and Windows ME for home users, and is available for any devices running Windows NT 4.0, Windows 98, Windows 2000, or Windows ME that meet the new Windows XP system requirements. Improved application compatibility and shims compared to Windows 2000. DirectX 8.1, upgradable to DirectX 9.0c. A number of new features in Windows Explorer including task panes, thumbnails, and the option to view photos as a slideshow. Improved imaging features such as Windows Picture and Fax Viewer. Faster startup, because of improved prefetch functions, log on, log off, hibernation, and application launch sequences. Numerous improvements to increase the system reliability such as improved system restore, automated system recovery, and driver reliability improvements through device driver rollback. Hardware support improvements such as FireWire 800, and improvements to multi-monitor support under the name Dual View. Fast user switching. The ClearType font rendering mechanism, which is designed to improve text readability on liquid crystal display, LCD, and similar monitors, especially laptops. Side-by-side assemblies and registration-free COM. General improvements to international support such as more locales, languages, and scripts, MUI support in terminal services, improved input method editors, and national language support. Windows ME. Windows ME introduced new features like automated system recovery tools, IE 5.5, Windows Media Player 7, and Windows Movie Maker. However, it was also known for its bugs and installation issues. Windows ME was similar to Windows 98 SE and included new capabilities for home networking, video editing, and system restoration in case of emergency. Windows 2000, Enterprise Edition. Windows 2000 was released in February 2000 and was based on the business-focused system Windows NT. It was not an upgrade to Windows 98 or ME. Windows 2000 was the first to support hibernation, and Microsoft's automatic updating played an important role. It is built on Windows NT and comes in three varieties: Professional, Server, and Advanced Server. Windows 2000 offered many improvements, such as stronger Internet integration, support for up to 4 GB of RAM, and eliminated many reboot scenarios. It also had Windows File Protection, which prevented installed applications from deleting necessary system files. Windows Vista Overview. In 2007, Microsoft released a new Windows Vista operating system to replace Windows XP. It had a fresh look, with transparent elements and a focus on search and security. However, it had some problems. Users had to approve every app that wanted to make changes, making people careless with their security. Windows Vista. It was also slow on older computers, despite being labeled Vista Ready. Windows Vista introduced features like Windows Arrow, improved search and multimedia tools, and security enhancements. However, it was not just an upgrade from XP but a whole new system. Windows Vista Editions. Windows Vista is an older operating system with different versions and features. Here are the main ones. Windows Vista Starter. This version has many limitations for people in developing countries. It only allows using 3 programs at a time, not letting people share files or printers, and can't play media files. Windows Vista Home Basic. This version is for people who want a budget-friendly option for home use. It doesn't have fancy graphics but has some basic features like desktop composition. Windows Vista Home Premium. This version is for people who want more features than the basic version. It has better graphics and can burn DVDs. It also supports HD TV and Xbox 360. Windows Vista Business. This version is for people who use their computers for work. It has all the features of the Home Basic version plus the ability to join a Windows Server domain. Windows Vista Enterprise. This version is for big businesses with extra features like BitLocker and Unix application support. Windows Vista Ultimate. This version has all the features of the Home Premium and Business editions. It also has access to Ultimate Extras and can support up to 2 physical CPUs. Windows 7, a user-friendly upgrade. Windows 7 was released in 2009 as the successor to Windows Vista. It aimed to fix users' problems and complaints with Vista and was considered a huge improvement. Windows 7 was faster, more stable, and easier to use, and many people upgraded to it from Windows XP, skipping Vista entirely. Some new features in Windows 7 included handwriting recognition and the ability to snap windows to the sides of the screen for easier resizing. Microsoft faced antitrust investigations in Europe over the pre-installation of Internet Explorer, which led to the introduction of a browser ballot screen. Windows 8 was launched in 2012 with a completely new interface with the Start button and Start menu replaced with a more touch-friendly Start screen. The new interface had program icons and live tiles displaying information like widgets. A desktop interface similar to Windows 7 was still available. Windows 8 was faster than its predecessors and introduced support for USB 3.0 devices. Windows 8. The Windows Store was introduced, which offered universal Windows apps, but third-party programs could only access the traditional desktop interface. However, the new touch-oriented interface wasn't welcomed by traditional desktop users, who preferred using a mouse and keyboard. Windows 8.1 was a free update released in October 2013 that aimed to address some of the criticisms of its predecessor, Windows 8. It included reintroducing the Start button, which was missing from Windows 8, and the option to boot directly into the desktop view, better suited for users with a mouse and keyboard. Microsoft also began to shift towards yearly software updates with this release. Windows 8.1 Pro, for regular people who want extra features. Windows 8.1, for regular people who don't need the extra features. Windows 8.1 Enterprise, for big organizations. Windows RT 8.1, for special devices with ARM processors. Windows 10 is a major release of Microsoft's Windows NT operating system. It is the direct successor to Windows 8.1, which was released nearly 2 years earlier. It was released to manufacturing on July 15, 2015, and later to retail on July 29, 2015. Windows 10 is designed to unify all platforms across multiple devices, allowing universal apps to be downloaded from the Windows Store and run on all Windows devices. It also includes switching between keyboard, mouse, and tablet modes for devices like the Surface Pro 3. Windows 10 makes its user experience and functionality more consistent between different classes of device, and addresses many shortcomings of the user interface introduced in Windows 8. Windows 10 Mobile, the successor to Windows Phone 8.1, shared some user interface elements and apps with its PC counterpart. User interface and desktop. System security. Command line. Storage requirements. Online services and functionality. Multimedia and gaming. Windows 10 comes in several variations, each with its own set of features that cater to different needs. Here are the different versions of Windows 10 and what they offer. Windows 10 Home. This standard version of Windows 10 comes pre-installed on most PCs sold to consumers. It's designed for ease of use and has features such as built-in security with Windows Defender, the ability to sign in using your face or fingerprint with Windows Hello, and bundled software such as Microsoft Photos. Windows 10s. This special mode of Windows 10 restricts users to only downloading software from the Microsoft Store. It's designed to keep your computer more secure and running smoothly. Windows 10 Pro. This version of Windows 10 offers all the features of Home Edition, plus tools used by businesses such as enhanced encryption options and the ability to create and run virtual machines. Windows 10 Enterprise. This version of Windows 10 is only available to businesses that purchase a volume license. It includes most of the features of Pro, but with additional tools that allow IT administrators to manage aspects of employees' PCs remotely. Windows 10 Education. This version of Windows 10 is designed for schools and universities to provide staff and students with Windows 10. It has similar features to Windows Pro, but some elements of the OS, such as the Microsoft Store, can be turned off by default. Windows IoT. This special version of Windows is designed to run on low-powered smart devices such as touchscreen displays. It's available to download from Microsoft's developer site and can be installed on a Raspberry Pi. Windows 11 is the latest major release of Microsoft's Windows NT operating system, released on October 5, 2021. It succeeded Windows 10, 2015, and is available for free for any Windows 10 devices that meet the new Windows 11 system requirements. Windows 11 features major changes to the Windows shell influenced by the cancelled Windows 10X, including a redesigned Start menu, the replacement of its live tiles with a separate widgets panel on the taskbar, the ability to create tiled sets of windows that can be minimized and restored from the taskbar as a group, and new gaming technologies inherited from Xbox Series X and Series S such as Auto HDR and direct storage on compatible hardware. Internet Explorer, IE, has been replaced by the Chromium-based Microsoft Edge as the default web browser. Like its predecessor, Windows 10, and Microsoft Teams is integrated into the Windows shell. Microsoft also announced plans to allow more flexibility in software that can be distributed via the Microsoft Store and to support Android apps on Windows 11, including a partnership. That's all for today. Inshallah, we will continue, next time, with next video. Thanks for watching. If not subscribe the channel, please subscribe. Forward to the other users, Firians. IqraSoft Computers.